I fear this may be the toughest love I have ever delivered. So let me hold your hand. Here's the thing, it is not easy to get taken seriously at work unless you have been in that company for a long time, worked in the industry for a long time, and it's especially difficult to be taken seriously if you are a young woman, a middle-aged woman, an old woman, basically if you are a woman. But I would argue most people at some point in their career feel like they're not being taken seriously. And there's a bunch of different reasons for this. Your boss could simply be an asshole. You could work at a really old school company that values tenure and length of service. You could be working with people who are racist, sexist, homophobic, etc. and they just decide that your opinions don't matter because of that. There are a lot of external factors as to why someone might not be taking you seriously. We can't necessarily fix those other than us being really picky about where we choose to work and who we network with. But I'm telling you, as someone who has worked in HR for many, many years, there are things you can do to make sure other people take you seriously. Also, hi, my name's Emily Durham. I'm a careers coach, a careers content creator, and someone who's worked in HR for many years. So if you like content that helps you thrive in your 9 to 5 and feel a bit more confident in the person you are, this is probably a good time to subscribe because we really don't play. I don't play over here. It's very FaceTime energy. Firstly, people aren't taking you seriously because it's possible you are not saying anything. It's possible they're not taking you seriously because they don't even know if you're picking up what they're putting down. If you don't participate in team meetings, in team socials, if you don't ask questions in those settings, if you are not offering insights in those group settings, if you're not showing up to socials, if you are not making your presence known and you are not making the work you are doing visible, no one is going to take you seriously because they don't even know what you're working on. They don't even know your personality. The only way people can take you seriously is if they know what you're about. That doesn't mean you're going to be one of those really annoying people who's convinced that they're always right and like they're the loudest in the meeting. No, the loudest in the meeting doesn't mean you're the smartest. What it means is you need to focus on showing up when it matters. From a team social perspective, I want you going to socials that are visible. So it doesn't matter if your coworkers are going for drinks. I don't give a shit about that. Go to the socials where your director is, where your boss is, where the hiring managers are, where the important people go, you go to, and you make a point to network. You're gonna show up to meetings prepared because it's also impossible for you to have some impact and say the right thing if you don't know what's going on. Show up to meetings, do all of the pre-reads, refresh your memory of what you're talking about before you go into those meetings, and have insights. If you have nothing to say, truly, you don't have to say anything. But if you have questions, if you have opinions, if you want to say to someone that was a great idea, say something, vocalize yourself, make your presence known. You don't have to speak in every single meeting, but as a rule of thumb, if you've gone like 3 meetings without saying anything, what value are you adding? And let's say you are adding value behind the scenes, how do other people know that? The next is they see you, they just don't like what they're seeing. People might not be respecting you at work because you don't respect yourself. That one might need to cook. I told you it's gonna be tough love, guys. I'm in a very you know what I mean? My shoulder cracked. I'm in a very sassy mood. I dyed my hair jet black again. I'm ready, I'm back, she's back. There are a lot of different ways you can present yourself as not holding self-respect in the workplace. One of the core ways I see people do this the most is in how they communicate. When you communicate in a very self-deprecating way, so for example, you're making a lot of jokes about you not being smart, about you not being good at your job, those might be jokes, right? You might just be hee-hee, ha-haing. If you do that enough, people are gonna start to have that seed planted in their subconscious mind. Emily doesn't think she's very good at this, so she mustn't be. In addition to that, the way you communicate when you do have ideas or questions can be self-deprecating without you noticing. For example, before you ask a question, don't say, sorry, I have a question. Before you have an opinion, don't say, this might be a stupid opinion. No, speak like what you say matters, and then it does matter. If you are not taking yourself seriously and giving yourself the credit and the space to take up space, to ask questions, to have opinions, to be confident enough to not know the answers and ask for other people's, ideas and perspectives, etc., how are other people going to respect you if you don't even respect yourself? People might not be respecting you at work because you're giving off friend vibe, not powerful leader vibe. There is a balance here because I'm a big believer in your coworkers are just your coworkers until proven otherwise. But if you're coming into work talking about how you got so drunk on the weekend, how you went on this shitty date, how you're breaking up with this guy, how your friend and you were having drama, and everyone knows all the tea about your personal life, they're going to see you more as a friend instead of an inspirational leader. And even though you might not be gossiping or sharing personal details with your, with your broader team or with every single person, that's still the energy you're putting out there, and how people will speak about you will be more like, oh, she's so fun, she's so crazy, she's so this, instead of she's so good at her job. You can definitely open up and have relationships with your coworkers, but remember that every single thing you say at work, no matter who it is to, is an extension of your personal brand. You don't owe people full transparency, and the more information you give people, the more they're adding that to the picture they have of you. And if you want your picture to be someone who is respected, who is taken seriously, ask yourself, how much about your director or your VP or the CEO of this company's personal life are you aware of? Probably not at all. They're probably just as fun as you. They're probably out living their life, having fun with their friends, but they're not. And don't get it twisted. Pick a couple friends, have some great relationships. Like, enjoy. You don't need to be a stone cold robot. Open up, have fun. Don't do it with everyone, and be careful what you share. Everything you say and do will be used against you. People won't take you seriously and won't respect you and won't think about you for opportunities and won't give you airtime if you are not reliable. The say-to-do ratio is the most important thing anyone can master in their career. It is basically a term that I like to use, I think other people use it too, who knows, to describe how much of what you say you are going to do you actually do. What's your follow-through ratio? People won't take you seriously if you say, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to that thing, and you don't go. They're not gonna take you seriously if you say, oh yeah, I'll update that document, and you don't. People can only respect what you do. And if you have a low say-to-do ratio, people are not going to rely on you, they are not going to take you seriously, and they're not gonna wanna work with you, because there is nothing more annoying than working with someone you cannot trust and you cannot rely on. Okay, I genuinely am scared to say this last one because I think it might be mean, but I have to tell you. Like, someone has to tell you. People might not be taking you seriously because you give off sloppy energy. And sloppy can be a lot of things. I'm not even talking about visuals, that hardly matters. Oh, it matters, but whatever. Sloppy energy means if I tell you something, you're probably gonna go gossip with other people. You're messy, you're sloppy. Sloppy means if the meeting starts at 9, you might roll in at 9:02. And I know no matter what, you're always gonna be a little bit late. Sloppy means I ask you for an update on that data, on that report, and you have to go look for it. You're not prepared. Sloppy means you're just messy in your delivery. Things are last minute, things aren't intentional. And that does come down to the social stuff too. Are you sloppy at work socials? Do you have one too many cocktails? Do you start gossiping? Do you get a little too touchy, a little too close? Are you not picking up on some of the social cues on when to be a bit more professional and when you can let your hair down? The reality is, if you are struggling to show up in this way, it could be because you don't feel like you deserve these things. You don't feel qualified, you're suffering from imposter syndrome, you don't think you are, intelligent, worthy enough to be there. You need to believe that you deserve respect in order for you to command it. Whether it's in your dating, in your personal life, at work, it doesn't matter where it is. These are just like the tangible things you can change. But if all of these things are kind of stirring up this anxiety and resistance where you're like, oh, I don't know what to do, it's because you don't feel comfortable with you. I hope this video wasn't too tough love, because like I said, a lot of shit sometimes is 100% out of your control. I just wanna make sure you and I are controlling what we can, because this is not the year to play. Like, this is the year you and I are getting paid. If you like tough love and you like someone who's going to hold your hand while they deliver you some arguably aggressive news, I think you're in the right place. So thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate and love you, and I'll talk to you soon.